तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयां चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पाञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मोखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपदकृष्णभूतश्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाचार्य श्री पाश्चात्य। Hare Krishna Prabhu Smataji Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. So as a continuation from yesterday, we were going to look into the depth of the study methods which we discussed in we almost covered half of it, I would say, about the various different study methods. Little bit more into it about the pros and cons, the do's and don'ts, etc. Need to be watched out for. But before we get there, I just thought it will be good to have a one particular discussion item, which is the Bhagavatam lifestyle. Ideally speaking, the Bhagavatam proposes or is conducive to a certain lifestyle, and those who already follow that lifestyle will be able to relish Bhagavatam pretty easily right from the beginning. Or if they have not been used to that type of a lifestyle, by getting into Bhagavatam, by getting oneself in line with Bhagavatam, absorbed in Bhagavatam, we will be able to adopt that lifestyle in due course of time. So what is that lifestyle that Bhagavatam recommends, or those Bhagavatas are happy to follow that kind of a lifestyle, right? So it is very important, because if what we are studying, if it does not make an impact in our lifestyle, in our thought process, in the way we think, etc., then it does not had an impact in our life, isn't it? So we need to have that what do you call that lifestyle where we are able to be at ease in our situation, wherever we are placed in, whichever place we are placed in, the position we are placed in. So it is these are not the exhaustive list, but some of the primary things which, when during the discussions with our spiritual master, and some of the things which he has recommended, because he would often tell one funny thing, because he was 91 when he left his body in 2010, which means he was like in 1920s. That's when he was born, and he led his life, and he would often tell this as a joke, but actually it's a serious thing to consider. He would often say that if my grandfather comes, takes birth again now, then he will take a big stone, tie it around his neck, go and jump into the ocean, so that even his dead body does not come up. Seeing the way you people lead your lifestyle, So he was telling that. Even another thing that he would often say is that I am only 60, 70 years ahead of you, or maybe 80, 70 years ahead of you. But to me, the way you people are leading the life, my days were also in Kali Yuga, but my days look like Satya Yuga compared to how you people are leading your life. It is in and out, so much the mode of ignorance that you can't. I can't imagine how you people live your life. So many such things he would say. But then one thing that he proved to us is that in spite of having this kind of a view, he has a very expert way of connecting with people. But that again, he often insisted that this is because of his absorption in Bhagavatam. It's because of his completely taking Bhagavatam as whole and soul in his life, that he was able to adjust to the different generations, the different changes in the world, and he has lived all around the world. And for him to live outside of India for many years and come up with the lifestyle, it is a very interesting thing to identify, and we can often connect it with how Bhagavatam made that big impact in his life. How Prabhupada's books especially, he has studied Bhagavatam before coming to ISKCON. He has studied Bhagavad-gita right from his childhood. But then what is that special thing that he found in Prabhupada's books that he often told us that this is the where Prabhupada's books is the only place where he takes us from complete zero to actually to the complete whole, like the ultimate end, where we not only get bhakti, but the lifestyle that will be conducive enough for our bhakti. So with that background, I just wanted to share this one simple slide, and then we'll go to the reading methods. You are able to see my screen now?
Yeah.
If you see, even the characters in Bhagavatam, they adopted this lifestyle inherently, So it's not something which is new to us, that is imposed upon us. Something which has been our Vedic lifestyle, but that is intertwined in Bhagavatam, interwoven in Bhagavatam. The messages as well as the thing. So let's go with the first one. See, this is something which Maharaj always insisted that Bhagavatam wants us to live a very simple life. So first and foremost, you would say loan-free life is a stress-free life. He would say, getting loans from anybody or looking for any kind of monetary or financial thing from anybody will break the relationships. So normally what we do when we go for loans, we want to have the item first, and then we go and look for, say we continue to pay some installments and all kind of stuff. But till that loan is over, our mind will not be free. How much ever we may say that, oh, this is all normal now, nothing will happen and all kind of things. So this is something which is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam recommends that don't bite off more than what you can chew. Don't be happy with whatever you have. If you have a hut, be happy in the hut. When you have the Lakshmi, when you have the wealth, then you go and buy something. So instead of buying the thing first and then paying in thing, because for that you will have to work, and suddenly the job is gone, then we will be in anxiety. And if you don't pay the mortgage, even if you pay out of 20 years, 19 years you pay the mortgage also. 20th year, if you don't pay the mortgage, you will come and take the house. That's how the loan system works. And even if you have an individually with somebody, you have some financial transactions. Ideally speaking, better not to have financial transactions. But for some reason, if you are forced to have something from somebody, make sure that you don't forget it. You keep remembering it, and somehow or other make sure that that is paid back as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it breaks a relationship. Bhagavatam says that. I will tell you, even 20 Kaudis. What is, Kaudi? That though early days they were not using the the money wealth. They were using the shells that are available in the seashore, no? And they used to use that as that is called Kaudi. And so they used to use that as the transaction bartering system. So they will have a bag full of shells which are available anywhere in the market, and then so not anywhere in the sea. So in the oceans or rivers or riverbeds or whatever, you just collect them and just make it in the bag and go and give it to the sabji wala. He will give some sabji. That's how the transaction used to happen. So it was as simple as that. But even Bhagavatam says in the 5th canto that even 20 such Kaudis or shells, Kaudi means those shells, even if somebody cheats another person by 20 Kaudis also, they will become lifetime enemies. I will tell you which shloka is that. Even if they are father and son or brothers and brothers, are the best of friends, still there will be a break in the relationship. It is deadly really enemies. It says it will become deadly enemies. So it is 5:14:26. If I will read that. See, as far as transactions with money are concerned, if one person cheats another by a farthing or less, they become enemies. So this cheating propensity is there always, and we should try not to be. While taking the loan, we may be, very humble and all that, but as soon as we get the money, we forget it, and the person who gives the loan, they have to run behind. So at one instant, what happened in our temple, Rajkot temple, there was the contractor had to be paid some Lakshmi. So Maharaj was traveling on a world tour, and he was in a different location, somewhere in London or somewhere. So the devotees who were taking care of the local thing, the day-to-day affairs, so they were doing the transactions. And one contractor was supposed to be paid some Lakshmi, but they couldn't pay it on time. So Maharaj called from there and he asked, have you paid the Lakshmi to the contractor? They said, no, Maharaj, we couldn't pay. Now, how come you didn't pay it? You were supposed to have paid a few days ago. And he said, you put the phone right now, call that contractor and convey your sincere apologies to him and tell him that we are extremely sorry that we had to pay this amount, but we couldn't. And he said that until the day you make the payment, you keep calling him and asking for sorry, apologize to that person. He will know that you are aware of this thing that which you have not, So this is something which is very important in terms of loans and debts. And there are nice things that which Maharaj used to quote, some nice shlokas, like Doha also, and some other shlokas also from different places where you better not to extend your hand for begging. Never in Bhagavatam you will see any devotee extending their hands for begging. Even Sudama who was supposed to have been visiting Krishna for that, but he didn't extend his hand for begging. He just went, gave the chipped rice, had some nice time with him and came back. So Bhagavatam is very simple and straightforward, Don't if we don't follow these principles, then our study of Bhagavatam is of no use. So there is a very nicely in Hindi, Aab gayi, Abru gayi, gaya nainan ka sneh, ye tino tabhi gaya, jab hi kaha kuch de. No, kuch de means please give me something. So it's a very interesting thing. Maharaj loved it very much, and he said, "We have to follow this principle now." Like this is, though it may not be a shloka from Bhagavatam, it is stating the principle of Bhagavatam 100%. Aab gai means your honor, self-respect. Abru, both are similar. Respect, self-honor, self-respect, honor, and Gaya Nayanan ka sneh means in the eyes there will be loving glance. They will have the loving glance in their eyes, loving feelings in their eyes. All these three will be immediately, three will immediately disappear the moment you extend your hand and say, please give me something, So as long as we live in this world, we should live a life of satisfaction that whatever Krishna has given me, that is good enough for me. I don't want to hanker after someone else's thing or compare myself with someone else and become dissatisfied. So this is where being happy and satisfied with what we have saves us from unnecessary loans and debts. So this is a very, very important thing that which Maharaj always insisted that please leave away the whirlpools of loan and the whirlpool, he used to say. Because whirlpool means it's like it will be like this and then it goes very sharp, and the moment you go inside you cannot come out. It sucks us in. So that's how the loans and debts really sucks us in. We cannot be happy and peaceful at all. So this is the first instruction. There are many places where such the instructions are given for this, about how to be free of being entangled in the money, financial debts, etc. Bhagavatam is very clear about this point. Next thing is, be simple and straightforward in your dealings with living. This Maharaj always insisted that if you say I cannot come, you just say I cannot come. If you have to say sorry, just say sorry. What stops? And we don't want to have some idea about somebody and having some lip service, etc. No. We always have some concocted ideas about people, and those ideas don't go away. These concocted ideas usually come from hearing from different places or our own imperfect concoctions. If we really sit with that person and understand, they will have some certain point of views and due to which they did in a certain way, and we will be able to clear it up. So when you don't tear it up, those concoctions stay in the corners. You see the corners are the places where the dirts get accumulated and it's very difficult to remove them. And we don't even notice them. You see, when it is in the center of the place, then middle of the place, then we notice them. But when it is in the corner, we really don't notice them. And that corner is, and as a result, it just sticks in our heart always. We have all different kinds of ideas about people in the corner of our hearts. As long as we have some opinion about somebody, and it will really have a disturbance in our heart. Duryodhana had a very bad opinion about Yudhishthira Maharaj. What Yudhishthira Maharaj was in truth, he was in reality. Duryodhana didn't want to accept that. He had a concocted idea about him, and he said that that's what he is. He had a concocted the idea about Bhima, and that's what he is. He said, anybody who came to tell him that they are not bad people, you just follow them. He said, no. What you are saying is not correct. I know what they are. This is how our mind disturbs. All the debts, the doubts get accumulated in the corners and disturbs our mind. And when our mind is disturbed, Bhagavatam will not go inside. We have to keep a peaceful, free mind. And that's why with a complicated mindset, we cannot enjoy Bhagavatam. When we say that, I am studying Bhagavatam, I am not able to understand, I am not able to relish it, etc., just introspect what's there in our mind. Is our mind free? Is our mind have 100 opinions about 100 people? It's very difficult, you see, with all these baggages that we have in our hearts. So it's very important. The next thing is, this is something which most devotees struggle with, especially devotees, they struggle with. We think that the moment we come to Krishna consciousness, Krishna will take care of our prescribed duties. We don't have to do anything. That is how we are always. We confuse carelessness with detachment. That's what Maharaj would say. There's a big difference. Carelessness will be punished. Detachment is true detachment. Detachment means what is that? Brahmanyadaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotyah. This Brahmanyadaya karmani, this adaya means you resign. Prabhupada writes that adaya word is resign. No? So the whole day you work, but at the end of the day you resign. Means you forget about it. Yes, I am not the employee anymore. The next day you again sign and you go to the office thinking that I am the employee. And as soon as you are over, day is over, your job is over, you just forget about it. This is how we have to have our sangam tyaktva. As we keep giving up that, but that does not mean that during the day I will just while away my time and waste my this thing. No, if you are paid, you always say this point that if you are paid 50 rupees a salary, your work output should be for the 100 rupees. We how many of us actually do it? We are given 100 rupees and we work for 50 rupees and we complain that they are not giving me 200 rupees. So that's why he would always say that if you work hard in spiritual life, in material life, you definitely work hard in spiritual life. If you are lazy in our material life, you will be lazy in spiritual life too. So do not give up your prescribed duties. Do not avoid your prescribed duties in the name of devotional service. Love the work as you would love Krishna. That is the Bhagavatam way. And you see, anybody you take, Parikshit Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni, anybody you take from Bhagavatam, they all loved their service. They did their prescribed duties 100%. Priyavrata, Satyavrata, anybody you take, none of them escaped from their duties. Priyavrata wanted to leave and go, but when his guru told him that you have to do your grahastha duties, then he changed his mind accordingly and he lived his life, isn't it? So this is a very important thing which we have to know. There's a lot of things to say there, but I'm just, anytime you want to stop and ask some questions, please feel free, Prabhu's Mataji's, just going with the flow. Then the next thing that very importantly Maharaj would say is that reduce the artificial necessities, especially this modern electronic equipments. You would say every invention threatens our existence, and all these mechanical equipments makes us lazy. You would often say this one thing that in those days, his sisters and mother and all, they would use their hand to, make the powders or the flour and everything. So there was no electricity needed. That's one thing. Second thing is that's a natural exercise for them. They were washing their clothes with the hands. They went to take water from the river or lake. Physically, they were walking. So they never had any physical illness or any sort. Now everything is mechanized. You have the mixer, grinder, iron box, then you have the washing machine and everything. You have everything, and then all the fat and everything is in our stomach. And then we go to the gym and there run on a on this treadmill where you run for 1 hour and you are still sitting and standing in the same place. You see. So Maharaj would say, man, if you run, take a bag, run to the shop and at least get some sabji or some groceries for home. That will be a productive exercise. When you do washing clothes, you do wash clothes. Physically, you do the exercise, then your digestion will improve. So like this, you would say that, if you have some hand pain, leg pain, etc., do clean the home, bend around, and all these things. Instead of going to the gym and wasting your time with and spending your money there, do these physical exercises at home. This minimize artificial necessities, and it will keep us really active here and healthy. So that is one other thing he would often say. This is also another important aspect of Bhagavatam life. And then the next thing is very important. You say, may be less dependent on medicines and use them only in absolutely unavoidable situations. He said that even in case of Ayurvedic thing, don't dump your stomach with medicines. You would often say this one thing that, see, if actually you would say that our body has a natural ability to cure itself. And you would often challenge us that if something outside of the body is required to cure the illness in the body, then Krishna would have sent a first aid box along with us when we are born. Whatever we are buying as medicines and putting inside, we don't know what is inside, what it does to the body, all these drugs and other things, right? So he showed by personal practice. Even in the 90 years of age, he never went to the doctor, to the hospitals unnecessarily. Even in the last days when he went to the Bhaktivedanta hospital, he said that I am going there only for association. I am not coming here. He told the doctors also, I have not come here for your medicines. My real medicine is devotee association, and I am happy here. You just don't disturb me. I will be here, and you please come and do whatever. And the doctors, true to his words, they used to come and sit with him and listen to Bhagavatam. And nobody knew that he was a patient. Everybody thought he just come there to give some Bhagavatam class or thing. So the real medicine, why? Because he always took shelter of these three things: Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam, and holy names. He said these sound vibrations will have its greatest impact in our bodily, curing our bodily ailments. And the sound vibration is so pure that it can clear all our mental, physical disturbances and everything. There's a lot to speak here, but you would often tell many such things. Try to minimize your dependence on allopathy to the maximum. Minimize it to the maximum possibility. If at all you have to take a little bit also, you would say one other important thing is your masala box is your medicine box. You would say ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, then your jeera, and these are all the medicines that we need, the body needs. So every day we use these things in our food. Naturally, you would say ginger is the Vishwa Bheshaj, means universal medicine. Any problem, ginger and honey will help. So Narani Mataji not a big freezer in some houses, so they can eat frozen food for 1 month, 1 year. It's very true, Mataji. Maharaj would say this joke that this chapati is made in Mumbai, dumped in a refrigerator, and then shipped in a ship, and it takes 1 month to reach the US. And there, by the time it goes 2 to 3 months, and then it is shifted from one place to another. By the time it goes to the Indian groceries or whatever, there it is dumped again, and then this our Indian man, they just take it from the freezer inside that grocery shop, and then go put it in the microwave, and then it just pops up, and then they eat. They say it's lovely, lovely. Man, 6 months old chapati, and he's eating that, and then he's saying it is lovely. And you would often make fun of this microwave. It's a microwave. You see, crow is the most rejected bird in the bird kingdom. Nobody likes its crowing. And even in Bhagavatam it says it's a pilgrimage for crows, conference. It's crows conference, right? So you have crow in your home, how it will be auspicious for you. Microwave, mera kauva, you would say. So it's very interesting thing. You would often bring out that this, if possible, throw away these things: washing machine, microwave, refrigerator, and this possible mixer grinder also. Then you will have a hale and healthy life. These are how it is connected with Bhagavatam, because we won't be able to sit properly for Bhagavatam with all these things in our thing. Because you see, you would make a very interesting logical point that the more light, the more fan, this electronic and electrical equipment that we have around us, this electromagnetic waves, they are all vibrations, they are around us. Because of these vibrations, our mind is always disturbed. Our brain, our body, it's all always disturbed. That is why we are not able to have a sound sleep. You see, I don't know how many of you would have experienced this. You stay in a city and you have your rest, you go to office and all those things. Go to a village, stay without any of these other equipments, and stay in a peaceful place. You see the difference, how the difference is in terms of your health, your food intake, and your sleep pattern, and all those things. You will definitely see a big difference. Why? Because that is a real way, Bhagavatam way. But we have complicated our life so much with all these loans and artificial equipments and all these medicines and all kinds of things. It's really hurting us badly that we are not able to focus on Bhagavatam at all. Tell me one place where people are sitting for a couple of hours and studying Bhagavatam with focus. So you can't. People, especially the next generations, they lose their focus in 5-10 minutes. They are not able to sit. Let's say they are more attracted to kirtans. They are more attracted to all these dramas and things like that. But nobody will be able to sit and absorb themselves in the scriptures, especially Prabhupada's words. It's very difficult for them. Why? Because that's how their lifestyle is. They are okay, actually something they are doing, let it go on. But imagine 50 years down the line, what will happen to our thing, you see. So the next thing we'll go to. The next is, this is something which we do very often. Wasting time is the greatest time, because we waste our time by thinking about unwanted things, which is not even happening, which is not going to happen, or we talk about something which has happened in the past. So our breaths are limited, so we cannot afford to waste time. So every single breath we use it in Krishna's service by chanting, studying, preaching, or thinking about something we should do. Next is a very, very important one. Genuinely feel others' sufferings and try to mitigate them to the best of your ability. Give them the touch of Krishna. When you give the touch of Krishna with feeling, then that is what is really making them devotees. By your preaching, you have to reach the heart of others. We have to avoid fearlessness. Everybody is afraid of something or the other. Somehow or other, we give them the abhayam, fearlessness. Then that too with genuinely feeling other sufferings. Right now, how many of us are really feeling the other person suffering and distributing books, or giving class for that matter? Or when we go to talk to somebody, we ask for some Lakshmi for the temple. How many of us think that, oh, we should do something for this person? No, very rare, right? Most of the time we say, oh yes, my quota, my target is done. There's one person I can't hold up. He has so much money. I am successful in getting Lakshmi from him. That's it, pretty much done. Or I give a class. Oh, everybody is appreciating my scholarliness. That's good enough for me. I've achieved my goal. How will it make sense? All the acharyas like Prahlad Maharaj, our Shadu Goswamis, our Guru Maharaj, they all felt the pain, others' pains for future generation. Prabhupada felt everyone's pain. That is why his teachings made sense. What's the big difference between him and the other acharyas of his contemporaries, or even the ones later? Why Prabhupada stands apart? Because it's genuinely feeling others' sufferings and praying to Krishna to mitigate them. And that is, with that mood, if preach, then it becomes successful. And then this is another important thing: develop the waiting room consciousness before becoming. This Maharaj also used to tell us that. What is this waiting room consciousness? Suppose you are going by train from one place to another. On the way you stop over, you have to change trains. Like say, suppose you are going from Chennai to Punjab. You have to change trains somewhere in Nagpur. And someone is going from Mumbai to Calcutta, and he also has to change over in Nagpur. And for some reason, for a couple of hours, both of them are in the same waiting room. Suppose that person keeps on talking, or he is snoring in his sleep or whatever. We won't really bother too much about it, right? Why? Because in an hour, he will also go away, I will also go away. I'm in a waiting room. I'm not going to be here permanently, right? So in this world also, if we develop that waiting room consciousness, then we will not be unnecessarily mean-minded with somebody, trying to put him down or destroy him and things like that. We will not be disturbed by others, and we will not be envious of that person. He may be growing up, growing down, whatever. We won't be having all this type stuff going on in our mind. And this consciousness is very much important to relish Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam, if you don't have this consciousness, our Bhagavatam study should lead to this consciousness. See, it is said in Bhagavatam, griheshu atiti vad vashan. Means even in our own home, we should live like a guest. Because guest means anytime we will be kicked out. Doesn't mean the guest means, hey, come on, you bring this, you bring that, and I'm a guest here, you have to take care of. No, not that. Atithivat means anytime you are coming, you will be kicked out after some time. In other words, you will have to leave the place. Whether they will send you or you will have to leave yourself. So that is what is called waiting room consciousness. And Parikshit Maharaj showed us that, yes, I am going to go. Let me make sure that while going, I will do something good for the others and for myself too. So this is very important, because we are thinking that we are going to be permanently here forever. We can't accept anybody coming in our way or sharing our things or whatever. We cannot accept that. That will not help us in our Krishna consciousness at all. So this waiting room consciousness gives us a lot of peace of mind. We know that we are not going to be here permanently. We just clean our stuff and move on. So chalti ka naam gaadi, they say, like that. The next one, this is about prasadam. Hey, this is we are all used to this thing. When prasadam is available in abundance, we just dump it. We release, hey, this is also nice, this is also nice. It's all going up to the neck, and then we can't even, we lie down and we can't even get up. Prasadam may be free, but stomach is yours, you would say, Maharaj. Do not dump your stomach and fill up with prasadam. Eat simple but healthy prasadam, because when we keep our, what is it? Iktahara viharasya cheshtasya karmasu. Bhagavad-gita, Krishna says that. So if everything we do it in connection with Krishna, in link with Krishna, it is very pleasing. We won't hanker or be greedy for eating more and more. Eat simple but healthy prasadam, And he would make a very interesting joke that the more time you spend in kitchen, the more time you spend in bathroom. So it's very important for us to make sure that we keep it minimum and save time from both ends and spend it in seriously developing our Krishna consciousness. Last one, this is something which you would often quote: have less foam in the form of furniture and other equipment like bed, sofa, and all these things. There's so much foam that the more the foam is, the more our body will have ailments. You see, when we lie down in a hard floor or maybe a mat or something, we won't get so much of this back pain at all. But when you start giving more and more cushion to the body in the form of like say sofa, bed, comforters, and all kinds of stuff, the more we go to the this chiropractors and physiotherapists and so on, right? So it is very, very important to follow that part. The more the form is, the more the ailments in our body is too. And another thing is, keep it organized. Keep everything organized. Even if you're shaving it, you have to keep it organized. Our toothpaste and brush, everything has to be an organized way, so that all these things don't come into our mind. Once I remember, when I was serving my Guru Maharaj, he called me over to his room. I thought, okay, I took a notebook and pen. And then I went thinking that he's going to teach some shlokas to me. And then he called me and he said, now today I'm going to teach you how to fold clothes. I said, Maharaj, I know how to fold clothes. No, I thought so. But Maharaj said, no. Maharaj said, bring that cloth. So his kurta, he asked me to bring it. And then he showed how along the crease, you have to fold it nicely, 2-3 folds, and then keep it aside. Never throw cloths on the corner of your home. Like don't dump them here, dump them there. That is actually violence to the cloths. If you take water, also drink them with proper consciousness. Drink it with proper consciousness. And then anything in home, you should keep it in an orderly way, so that orderly manner, so that your Bhagavatam, when you are studying Bhagavatam in the midst of all these chaotic things around, Bhagavatam will not go inside. This mind will be disturbed. And he told me that, see, you keep these cloths along the side in a very nicely, in an organized way, then it will not disturb you anymore. Anytime you come inside the room, you will feel happy coming inside. So like this, everything we need to keep them organized in a systematic way, then Bhagavatam will make sense to us. So these are some of the things which I thought I will share, which over the time, which we learned from Maharaj. And he said, if you are studying Bhagavatam seriously, these all should be there in your, as part of your lifestyle. And if you say that I'm studying Bhagavatam, Maharaj, but I don't have time to wash my clothes, I don't have time to wash my utensils, then you reduce your Bhagavatam time. Wash all these things, keep them clean, and then come to Bhagavatam. Don't make a mockery of devotional service. You have one servant for this, one servant for that, one servant for this. Eventually, you have one servant for studying Bhagavatam also. So don't make a mockery of this thing. Everything you should do with yourself, and be very simple in your lifestyle. This is what he would often advise us, and I thought I will share these with you, Prabhu's Maharaj. Any questions, comments here?
Hari Bol, Prabhuji, these are the best
Yes,
teachings. These are like Bhagavatam lifestyle and Bhagavatam in practical. I think each and every point, especially 2, 3, 8, even 9, like it could be a class on its own.
Yeah, each one of these actually Maharaj gave so many points to us that I could not cover everything here, so I put them in little snippets, But we can talk for hours together on these points, because at the end of the day, if we don't get back to, he would often say this point, it's better that Prabhupada always used to say this, that it's better you go back 200 years instead of thinking of going forward, because you completely lost the thread. We have completely lost the soul of our humanity. Like if I mean, when I go to some villages, when somebody is having some problem, suddenly the person who's walking by, he will actually stop and ask what is happening, and then he can do something or not. But in the city style lifestyle, kind of fast-paced lifestyle, I wouldn't say city lifestyle, fast-paced lifestyle, nobody is caring for anybody. Nobody is worried about anybody. So what kind of a Bhagavatam we can give, Paradukha Dukhi, we say,
This all reminded of chapter 13. All the qualities that Krishna is mentioning from 8 to 12, I think, can be learned by applying these.
Yes. Yeah, I think, Sachinandan Prabhu is asking me about this sloka, Griheshu Atiti Vadvasan. Actually, it is in the 11th canto, Prabhu. Just give me one sec. Let me. Krishna only tells that sloka. And he is expert in staying as a guest in his own homes. He's like 16,108 homes he has, but still he will never claim proprietorship over any of that. Atithi is great. It's not coming.
Mm.
11/17/54, Prabhu. Ittam parimrishan mukto griheshvatiti vadvasan na grihe anubadhyeta nirmamo nirahankritaha. Deeply considering the actual situation, a liberated soul should live at home just like a guest, without any sense of proprietorship or false ego. In this way, he will not be bound or entangled by domestic affairs. You see a couple of people raising their hands. It's 11/17/54, Prabhu. Anandaram Prabhu has asked some question. Point 3, can you please provide more clarifications? Srila Prabhupada many times said, don't work hard like us. Do what is appropriate. How to correlate both? This question I've asked many times to Maharaj Prabhu. He often I mean, I would say that Maharaj, we are all cheated. We are all being cheated in our office and everywhere. So how do we balance this? You are saying that you are saying that we have to work hard, but they are also taking advantage of our ability to work hard. Maharaj said something very interesting that see, you love your work as you love Krishna. Whoever is in between, you don't worry about them. They may be there today, tomorrow they may be taken away. That is all up to Krishna. It is by your karma that you have someone as a boss who may be very thing, whatever. But as far as you are concerned, you are doing the work for which you are assigned. That's all. If they are dumping more and more work by exploiting you, you can tell them that, see, I am supposed to do only this much work. You cannot dump so much on me. I work for this thing, and I will go home. So the one thing that Maharaj always said, Prabhu's Mataji, is that Anandaram Prabhu, this thing is that when we are really working hard, sincerely working hard, the employer will like to keep us employed. So they will not want to let us go. Okay. Because of which somehow or other, we will not feel any anxiety that my job will go away or whatever. Suppose for some reason they lay over or whatever, they lay off or whatever, they just send us out. But still, because of our sincerity in the work, somehow or other Krishna will send someone else who will take us into their firm, give us the job. So we don't have to worry about it. The whole idea here is that how sincere I am to the work that I am doing, right? So there are times when we will be, someone will work hard and all that, but don't take up that work. Even Radhesham Prabhu used to say that, you take a simple job, less paying job also is fine, then you can continue this thing. But it's a balance where somebody would want to advance in their career, which is good. They have to work hard to advance in their career. They can also do that. Or others, they may say that I don't want to advance in the career. I just want to have a anxiety-free job where I need little bit of amount for my maintenance and things like that. And I will continue my devotional service with whatever time available. They are free to take that kind of a job. But one thing in this world is that Maharaj said one thing, that all these employers, they like donkeys. They like to employ donkeys. So you may be devotee in your community, in your temple center, congregation, whatever. But the person who is employing you will not know that you are a devotee, and he doesn't care. He wants donkeys, right? So if you get yourself employed in that kind of a job or job profile, whatever, where they are expecting you to work like donkeys, we have to work like donkeys. It is our choice that we went to that person. We may say that I don't have any other option, but that doesn't make any sense to that employer. He says, just because you are a devotee, I cannot treat you special. You see? So that is where we are. Prabhupada did say that don't work hard like ass. Obviously, we can choose not to work hard like ass. That's what Prabhupada said. So if I am given 50,000 rupees salary and I asked to work hard, if another place they give 20,000 rupees and I get lesser low workload, then it is for me to choose. But how many are really ready to do that, Prabhu? How many of us are ready to do that? We want 50,000 rupees salary, but we want less workload as much of 20,000 rupees salary person, isn't it? That is why the mismatch is there. If you are given more money, you are expected to work more. If you are given less money, then maybe we can do some thing here and there. So that's why many times they always say, do smart work, don't do hard work. We are simply working hard and getting into anxiety is also not perfect. Everybody may not be able to do that, but all said and done, we should, if we stop comparing ourselves with others, half our problems will be solved. If you are simple in our life in terms of our needs and all, another half problem will be solved. But especially in Grahastha life, these are all challenges, Prabhu. The husband may be simple, wife may be asking for more, or wife may be simple, husband may be really wanting to have more and more things. So, and or if both of them will be simple, but children will not be simple. So all these challenges are there. You know, it's not an easy solution.
Grahastha life is a bargain only for little sense enjoyment.
Yeah.
we have to sacrifice our even strong will also sometimes.
So many things you have to solve. That is where the biggest challenge lies. You know. So when we bring Bhagavatam into our life, somehow or other, our children, family, our parents, they are somehow or other they take that lifestyle. Then lot of these problems will be solved. So yes, Prabhupada did say that don't work hard like us. Many devotees also say this, but provided we are happy to live with a lesser salary and lesser this thing, you know, that's how we have to balance it out. I see 3 raised hands. I don't know who raised their hand first. So whoever.
Narayani Mataji, I think.
Yes, Narayani Mataji, you had something to share.
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत
प्रणाम।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जो 9 पॉइंट दिया है भागवतम लाइफस्टाइल में, प्रसादम में भी फ्री वाला, तो उसमें हम लोग जो उपदेशामृत, आई डोंट नो रिमेम्बर, उपदेशामृत या ईशोपनिषद में जो वर्स है
अत्याहार प्रयासश्च,
यस, तो ये उसके साथ यूज कर सकते हैं ना, मतलब ये वाला अगर एग्जांपल देना है तो?
Yeah, definitely. All Bhagavatam is in so many places. Mitameyadanam Shashvat. In the 3rd canto, Kapil Muni says the same thing to Devhuti Mata. So it's many places it is there. Even in Bhagavad-gita it is there many places.
Okay. And second question is like you are saying simple and straightforward. So sometime what happen, we are straightforward, but somebody is saying this is a Vaishnava अपराध, ऐसे बहुत बार होता है कि हम कुछ सीखे हुए हैं वो किसी को बताने जाते हैं, so they are saying oh ये मतलब वैष्णव अपराध कर रहे, like that, you know. So second वाला
the thing is Mataji, simple and straightforward को हम सीधा साधा बोलते हैं ना. हम सीधा आसान में आ जाता है, सादा आसान में नहीं आ जाता है. We are straightforward. Means, hey, you are doing this wrong. You are doing this is not correct. That we can say, but we don't have a simple heart. When somebody else is straightforward with us, we cannot accept it. We are ready to be straightforward with everybody. You see, I can tell anything to anybody, but nobody can tell anything to me. That is how we live our life, you know. That's why it's not simply like that's why it's called Sida and Sada. We cannot simply be Sida alone. We have to be Sada also. Sada means, oh, you are scolding me. Yes, I am fine. I think I might be wrong. I have accepted my mistake. That is simple. Right? Prabhupada was very much upset with something. He was very much worried that the devotees, disciples are not doing anything properly. Then someone new person had come that time. He said, Prabhupada, why are you so much upset? Then he said, so none of these things are happening, the devotees are not doing all that properly. Then that new person said, you only say every time that chanting solves all the problems. Why don't you chant? And then Prabhupada looked at him and immediately said, yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And he started chanting. He didn't say, hey, you are a new person, what do you know, I am founder Acharya, nothing he said. That is real simplicity. That is real simplicity.
Good listener and good hear, matlab sunne wala.
Yeah. It doesn't make difference between who is a senior, junior, learned thing, all those things. It doesn't. The moment some good instruction comes anywhere from it comes, it doesn't matter. You know.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. So who was the next? I will come to this question. Archana Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, whatever you have said, it is absolutely the truth, and I mean there are no doubts about it. But what I want to say is now we have been living, half of our lives have passed in this type of lifestyle. And if I give you some example, you are saying that we should not be using ideally mixer jar or washing machine and all. And we have a lot of help in the form of maids and all. So taking all this away from our life will cause us more anxiety, and we will not be able to concentrate in Bhagavatam. One day if the maid doesn't come, we are all agitated.
Oh my God, I know there are devotees
back
whose
to this,
Bhagavatam
how much it is really practically possible.
Mataji,
another
the only thing that stands between us and practically possible is our mind. Nothing else. Like you said about this maid, for example. I've seen there are devotees who used to come and they will lock the door at their home, and they will come to our home for the Bhagavatam evening class, and they will sit for a few minutes, and suddenly the maid will call, "Madam, I have come, where are you?" Then they will leave the whole Bhagavatam thing, and they will say, they will run away to their home. Because they say,
exactly,
Bhagavatam, I can come and read anytime, but this maid will not come. Maid is the supreme personality of Godhead here, you know.
So Prabhuji, we are so conditioned and we are so used to that. And now, and see, when you were even mentioning about you keep a healthy, but health does not depend just on we doing all the chores. The type of food that we are eating today, it is all polluted. The air we are breathing is polluted. The water is polluted. So we are living in such times where we require this type of health. We cannot completely disregard all these things. Yes, we should keep it to the minimum. That is understood. We understand all this. But to really bring it into practice is, I don't think it is very practical. I mean, to the maximum that we can, even if we take the example of loan. Now, we all know that loan is not. But like if I consider now, tomorrow a doctor has passed out. Okay, he wants to start his practice. He doesn't have the finances to do it. But he can't wait for years, you know, for those finances to build up and then start his practice. He has to start it at that particular point. And for that, he requires loan. I mean, there are some genuine situations where you require. So we cannot completely disregard.
That is where I mentioned.
That is what I feel.
That is where I mentioned that you may not be able to give up the loan completely, as you said, in situations. So there are some situations where it is unavoidable. But we should try our best to repay that loan as soon as possible.
Yes.
See? So it's not that, you know, as you said, I mean, if you can follow these things, that is the best. But if we are, who is responsible for bringing us to this situation? We ourselves.
Yes, we are only. We are only. But now we are here.
So what stops us? No, 1 minute. You said about this maid, right? Frankly speaking, if we want to live a maid-free thing, we can. Like myself and my wife, we are living 20 years without maid.
We have also lived, Prabhuji, during COVID times. We have also
yes. So in COVID time, we can all do those things, right? That is the experience we faced. But after COVID, if you say, okay, COVID is gone, let's bring them back.
Time we were working from home, or we were at home most of the time. So we had the time.
I will tell you something, Mataji. If we can just take 5-10 minutes to do our chores little bit like that, it is definitely possible. As I told you earlier, it's only our own mind that is coming in the way. If I am going to say that this is all good on paper, I cannot practice it, then you are free to do that. But don't expect Bhagavatam to come and give us realizations over and over, and we can go and speak Bhagavatam to anybody with all high realizations and all that. It may not happen, and don't blame Bhagavatam for it.
And what I'm trying to say is, like, everybody in the house, living in the house, should have the same mentality.
That will not happen overnight. No, somebody should start. Start, right? Let us be that person. Like, say, what is that? Be the change that you want to see in the world. That they say that statement like that. No, so it's we don't have to put all these 10 points one go. See, when Maharaj says, keep like we will have one maid for cleaning vessels, one maid for washing clothes, one maid for cleaning the house, etc., etc. Right? Take one of those things out, and for 1 month you try to do it yourself. Like cleaning, cleaning the vessels, how long it is going to take? Just keep this thing. Bring the rule in the home that everybody's plate that they eat, it should be washed by them only at home. when you do it yourself, then others will follow to some over time. It may not be instantly, but over time it will happen. So these are some of the disciplines which you bring to ourselves and help others also appreciate it, how it is helping our life. Then it will definitely make a big difference. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not that, it's a lifestyle. It's not something that all 10 you have to follow. Slowly we can bring it in. So thank you, Madhusevit Prabhu. We'll catch up with you in the next session. Sorry about that. So all these things, we all agree that this is something which you say. I will ask you one thing, Mataji. Have you ever seen our grandmother or grandfather go to the doctor and say that my back is paining, my neck is paining, etc.? I have the problem in my lumbar here and cervical here, etc. They don't even know that there's something called back pain exists. My grandmother, I'm telling you, she fell from this is first floor where I'm sitting. From here, she fell down at 82 years old. She fell down and she fell. Luckily, she fell on the muddy place. She stripped over the cloth liner which was there. And she was just trying to put her cloth, dry the cloth. She stripped over and fell down. And she was in the ICU and we thought she's gone. But somehow she defeated all those the doctor's predictions, etc. After a lot of struggle, she came home and then she just took normal prasadam and she became completely all right. And for the next 5 years, she went to the Adhyatma and pulled the Rath. We thought she had all diffuse and everything, this, that. They gave a belt and everything. Everything was there. But we were so surprised that she became completely normal. And every year she would force us to take her to the Rath Yatra. She will pull the Rath for a few distance and then she will come to the end and she will wait for us and come back. So 5 years, she did a very thing. If you ask me, I cannot do that. If I fall down from this from the top floor. Isn't it?
Prabhuji, actually, you know what?
The reason
is completely
yes,
convinced about these points, Prabhuji, and actually I want to do them. That is why I'm asking you these practical tips. That we try
take
to
little
do
by
it,
little.
take
little by little. I will tell you one thing. If you don't wash all your clothes, take only the say the smaller garments, right? Maybe some say our the smaller garments which you can wash with your own hand or like that, which you can do it in quick time. Then you start doing your shirts and make sure that this discipline is brought to everyone in the home, that everyone does their own clothes, washing their own clothes. Then it is slowly it can come in practice. And you will see one of the devotees in Pune, I remember Ramvilas Prabhu, I was telling him this. Maharaj gave a big instruction on how to wash clothes, I sent it in my offering also in Grantharaj. Step by step, he was telling what we should do, how we should wash the clothes. So when Maharaj told this, when I told this to this Prabhuji, Ramvilas Prabhu, he was very happy to hear that. And I told him, Prabhu, we should actually bend down and wash the clothes. It's not like you put it in the machine, which puts the same dirty water on the cloth and trying to make it clean. It is not possible at all. So he accepted that logic, and he was telling the next day he was bending down to wash the clothes. He felt my tummy is becoming more softer. And he said, I could easily feel that. So this is a simple exercise. So instead, see, there are two problems here. One is I am not exercising. And the second thing is I'm spending my time either in the gym or with the doctor to get the medicine for the problem, for the disease. Right? So what Maharaj was telling was, forget about washing the clothes, but at least for saving yourself from the unwanted medicines, you please do some exercise. Some kind of exercise you do, This is something which at least Maharaj said that, see, at the end of the day, money is not a big thing, or our house or anything is not. This our health alone, that is the biggest fear that we have. I don't want to lose the health. I don't want to lose the health. That is what is on our mind all the time, isn't it? So these are simple ways by which we can keep our body healthy for a little longer period. As long as Krishna wants, we don't know what will happen to us. But as long as Krishna wants, at least we don't wantedly, we don't jump into the ditch. You see, that is the whole thing. Slowly you take. This is a kind of things which Maharaj used to say. One of the devotees asked this interesting question when Maharaj was talking about this refrigerator, washing machine and all in one of the classes. One devotee asked this question: Maharaj, we are coming new here and you are telling don't have all these things, but we already have fridge, machine, washing machine, grinder, mixer, everything, microwave, everything. So what do we do if we already have them, Maharaj? Then Maharaj said a very interesting answer. He said, take a big A4 sheet and write in bold letter free and stick it into all these items and give it to someone whom you don't like. They will think that you are giving gift to them, but you only know what you are giving it to them, and then you will be really free of them. Maharaj is very straightforward there, because we always have these excuses that I come very late, my shift timing is there, I cannot cook on time, my parents are there, this, that, so many things we have, so many reasons we have. But those reasons cannot be the cause of our going deeper and deeper into anti-Bhagavatam lifestyle. That's all we want to say. These are all anti-Bhagavatam lifestyle. We are wasting our time. We are thinking that we are saving our time by washing machine, but actually it is wasting our time, because we may save our time from there, but we are putting that time where? In going to the doctor, because of our lack of exercise. Or you go and stand in the ground and you do the exercise thing. That is not a productive exercise. Instead, you can walk to some shops or some place and buy some things. So always do productive service. That's what you would often say, So it's very important.
So Prabhuji, how much do you feel is because the women are working out nowadays? That is why also most of these things have come into picture.
No. That is not the only reason. No, they all go to work outside also. Men also work outside and all those things. But that is all right. But yes, it does add to the children's school things, and that's education, parents thing. We have to take care of them. All these things are coming as part of the overall package. But even I have seen many women who many Matajis who work outside. They still are, because they work outside, they walk a lot, and they walk and they move about, and they do a lot of these activities. So exercise is naturally inordinate. But when they come home, they may not have the time to cook and all that, right? So that will add to the complication there. In such cases, maybe the say elders at home might help in some cases, or if they live in nuclear families, then that may not be possible. So some adjustments have to be brought in. That if the husband can work, can cook when the wife is busy, or the wife can cook when the husband is busy. But if both of them are this thing, maybe one fine day you just go. Maybe some nearby temples are there. You can go and have prasadam there. Or as a reciprocation to that, we do service in the temple on weekends. Some kind of arrangements can always be brought in, but this, whatever is listed here, is all principles, Mataji. How do you get there is individual case by case basis. We all have our own challenges. So only thing I request you is, don't think that this cannot be achieved. The moment we bring that block into our life, mind is putting that block into our life. The moment we think that you cannot do this, then that's it. You won't make an attempt at all. You won't make an endeavor also. At least make an endeavor. Worst case, what will happen? We will fail. Doesn't matter. At least we made an attempt. Right? So these things.
Thank you so
really
much.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. I'm happy. I'm happy and glad that you brought it out openly, because otherwise it will only be a superficial set of things.
Yes, Prabhuji, because these things need
it's
to
nice
be
to
addressed.
hear. Nice to hear, but not possible to implement. If I cannot implement these points in my life, at least some of them, if not all, I won't be able to implement any other instructions in Bhagavatam. Because they are also similar to this, So,
Thank you so much, Prabhu,
thank you,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
for
Thank you for
inspiring
that.
us and giving us practical tips.
No, thank you, Mataji. I think one more is left is Anu Mataji. Anu Mataji,
Yes.
sorry you.
Thank you. No, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, Archana Mataji, for bringing that up, because some of my questions were answered that way too. And Prabhuji, so actually, it's more of a request rather than question. I have so many questions from so many points. Can we please have a separate, I guess, another session on just this slide?
Yeah, I am more than happy, because it will help me also to know. Otherwise, I will be living in a cuckoo's land, thinking that all these points. I want to hear more from all of you, and because each one of us have our own challenges. So. So this is very important to, especially Mataji, especially nowadays we are also following the Western lifestyle. So everywhere the thing is you work hard, and then why are you working hard? Because you have EMIs, or you have other important things, commitments in life. So many things are there. But let's pause and see what we are working for. Where are we going from here? These are some of the questions that we should ask ourselves, and then Krishna will somehow or other inspire us with certain things. And the most important thing we have is we have very good devotional community around. And with them we can share our challenges, or with senior Vaishnavas we can share these things which we want to. Our own way we can introspect also. So the basic things like sadhana and our DT, if you have DTs at home, little bit minor things only. Don't make an elaborate thing that everybody has to do. No, Maharaj used to say that, you don't have time during morning for Mangalarti, just do incense and then sing Mangalarti in your mind only, and then do the prayers and do the offerings and move on. Keep it consistent. Simple, but consistent.
More practical approach.
Exactly. But don't avoid it. Just keep doing it. No, I know this thing will bring a lot of. It will open the Pandora box of questions and things. I'm more than happy to get deeper. I mean, I will share this slide again with Anandram Prabhu, and you all will get it. Please feel free to go over it and share your concerns and things. How we can bring it up. No, you can even, if you have a devotee community, as a community you can help. See, this is where Prabhupada's movement really helps us very much. Suppose you have a congregation and you have at home somebody is sick, then someone else will help. I know. I think Sachinandan Lal Prabhu is here, and I think Santosh Prabhu is also here. I know how their congregation in Navi Mumbai are so, and Anandram Prabhu is also there. How they help each other. So you don't feel like you are living away from your family. Everybody is a family here. So this is I even written something about benefits of joint family. One article I had written, one of the books published by this one as Bhakti Rasamrat Maharaj. In that I brought out the advantages of the community living. Some of the nice things. So we can slowly bring these things. The only thing that we always have is that Bhagavatam is always about positive outlook. Never ever give up that positive outlook in life. Whatever it is, never lose that hope, the positive outlook, that hope in our life. I hope that helps, Mataji. We'll definitely have another time to discuss these things. Maybe in the next session we can start off with this slide and you can all come up with your questions. We can discuss. It's not that I should give the answer for everything. Others who are much better equipped than me can also share how they overcame those challenges. You see.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That will help. Certainly help. Thank you, Ji.
Yeah. And I think we should stop here unless and until there are more questions. I'm sorry. I thought we will get into that study method thing, but it's okay. I'm glad that this has brought up much more questions and they're opening up basically. So I'm more than happy to spend more time on this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because we have asked all these questions what you are asking. Maharaj would give us practical, because he has seen 4 generations, So he knew how it has changed over time. How he was not
How people were before.
Yeah, and he was not putting down or he was not comparing us with the older thing all the time. He would always relate to our challenges, and he was very compassionate towards our challenges and our pains that we are facing. And for that, he would give such wonderful solutions, very Bhagavatam based solutions. It's like you are marrying the Bhagavatam way with our current situation and adapting. You adjust it in such a way that you are adapting it to the current generation. So for that we need that experts like Prabhupada and all those spiritual masters and all acharyas. And he would always talk about marital relationships. That is something where he put lot of energy on. He said people come for 3 main problems. One is relationship issue. Second thing is physical and mental issues, and third thing is financial issues. These are the 3 main things that people are bothered about and they come. So if our scriptures don't give solutions to these 3 main problems, then we are not related to them. Somehow or other we have to bring out that Bhagavatam solution to these problems. Then they will be able to appreciate Bhagavatam better and take to it more seriously. If I simply speak Bhagavatam, it's up there in the sky, and my problems are here, and there's nothing to touch there, then what's the point?
Yes.
See? Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. It seems like practical aspect of Bhagavatam will come to life.
Yeah. And more often than not, he would talk about dal price, the rice price of the rice, price of say petrol and all those things. He would talk about all these things, and he would really genuinely he will relate to us, because he would say that, see, when I was there, petrol was hardly 1 rupee, 2 rupee, and now you are paying 100 rupees. So you have to work that much extra hard and get all these things done. So how do you adjust the situation? You cannot overnight, you cannot change from a car to a Bailgadi, You cannot just say I am getting rid of my car. I am going to the office in my bullock car. No, it is not possible. So how do you adjust it? So gradually, slowly, you just bring it down to that extent that where you can take it up. So there are certain things which can be adjusted immediately, some things cannot be. And so according to our time, place, and circumstances, we should slowly bring it to the that lifestyle. At least to a certain extent. Thank you so much. And we'll see, maybe tomorrow I think we are giving an off, and Prabhuji said we can connect on Sunday also. I don't know how many of you are available on Sunday time. So Prabhu, I will leave it to you, Anandanam Prabhu, you and Madhusevita Prabhu, to come up with if Sunday is okay for everybody, and then we can
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you for considering that. Yeah, because tomorrow you're also busy, and many of our devotees also are busy with our congregation programs. Maybe sharp at 9 we may not be able to catch up. But Sunday I feel we may be able to do that.
We can give it a break.
So let us take.
If Sunday is tied up for others, we can do on Monday also. I'm fine with it. I am available on Sunday. Saturday and I am also tied up.
Okay. We can just a minute. I'll take a poll, like if majority are available, then we can go for Sunday.
Yes.
So devotees who are present now, like will you be available for Sunday? Can raise the hands who are available for Sunday. Okay. Tomorrow we will not be having.
I think most of them are raising their hands.
I think it's possible to have it on Sunday.
Yeah. That's nice. I think others may not be available, I guess. Narayani Mataji and they are living in UK, right? So they are also available. But in your group, Prabhu, I don't know if everybody in this Zoom is in your group.
True, bro. Also, I'll also consult with Madhusil Prabhu and other devotees, and but I feel most like 75% chance we may be able to have it. I will communicate by Sunday morning. Shall I communicate by Sunday morning?
Please, Prabhu, carry on.
So
And how do you want to share this slide?
So the slides in the form of PDF you are sending, I am sharing in my our group.
One thing let me do.
You can also upload on your drive, and you can share as the drive link. So that also can be an option. Like
yeah, we can do that. 1 minute.
Because in the chat box,
I can even put it in chat box. No.
Yeah, you can put it in the chat box. Okay.
Let me do that, and let's see if it works here. The chat box, if I am putting it here, does it copy? So no, it's not pasting. Or I will have to save it as a file.
Prabhuji, for this particular slide, I have taken a picture. I can just send the JPEG to our WhatsApp group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, not only this one too. The PDF you send, that is to our group, is not a problem, but there are some devotees who are not in our reading group. So if you can upload in your drive, and that drive link you can save, share in the chat box, so people can download from the chat box.
Oh, that okay. You are saying save it in a drive and then share the link. Okay, I will just do one thing. I will do that then.
For devotees who are not, we have opened it to all throughout the world to devotees from different corners. We don't know personally.
But in this group right now, many of them are, I think many of them have dropped off. 20 are there.
Maybe not today, Prabhu. Maybe next session, at that time also you can share. That's not a problem.
Okay, sure.
Devotees will keep patience, no problem. They are waiting. Whenever you give, they will accept. So you can
Sorry, but I just wanted to share one thing, that I've already started following your advice. And I've actually written down everything from the slide.
So nice of you, Mataji. Really nice. Yeah. For some reason, this file. Okay, what is this?
I don't think directly you can paste in the chat box.
No, we cannot do that.
It doesn't support the format.
We can only give the link. Okay.
Yeah, we can make a link from where they can devotees can download like that.
Yeah.
Download or view like that. So you can day wise or some 2-3 days wise, like you shared with me, bro, like that.
Yeah, I will have to cover for all these 3 pages. Yeah, this thing I can do that.
Yes. Like for our group, you can always share the PDF to me. I will send it across the group, so that will be easily reachable. And for other devotees who are there, who are daily participating, they can take it from the chat box.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good point, Prabhuji, because there is a devotee, I think.
So what I am going to do is that at the end of the session, I will give the entire thing as a PDF, whatever we have covered. So not to worry about. Of course, on an individual day basis, you want to revise that you will need also. But as an entire this thing, I have the PDF. I can share that link. I can share that. I just didn't want to.
Both are welcome, Prabhuji. Both are welcome.
I do that on every batch.
We'll like to go day wise also, so that we are ready for the next session. At the same time, those devotees who have missed for some reason, they can get all.
They can get I give it for every batch. I give the PDF to everyone. So that way I will share it anyway. Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhu's Mataji. So nice.
Slide and glorification of Bhagavatam. Those slides were very beautiful, bro.
Yeah. All nothing is ours. Everything is coming from higher up. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu's Mataji. Please accept.